Welcome back to another edition of the All Beef No Filler podcast. I'm your host, Pascal Paul, the Director of Scouting for Prep Baseball in Nebraska. Thanks for joining us on our tour around the state as we interview some of the coaches in the preseason as we get ready to start practice here in a couple days. We've got with us the head coach of the defending Class B state champions, the Norris Titans, Coach Sean Bartholomew. Welcome, Coach.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for being here. We're getting some good weather lately, right as the season's turn into practice, so all thumbs up for hopefully this holds for the rest of the spring.
Man, we hope so. It's I feel like we always get this really good weather spell right before season, and then we hit season and it's like 42 degrees, windy, misting, snowing, whatever it might be. So yeah, let's hope for this to hold out a little bit.
I feel like that's everyone's feedback, including mine.
Yeah.
Right when the season starts, it's always like, man, we know we're going to get snow. We know there's going to be a week or 2 weeks that's just going to be miserable, right?
Someone was telling me at school the other day that it's like every year that during one of the state tournaments, whether it be boys or girls for basketball, there's snow. And I can't remember, but I was like, man, I don't want to hear that now.
No, nobody wants to hear that. The snow's gone and done with. We've had it last weekend. We had the negative degrees. Now it's spring weather, summer weather. Let's play some baseball.
It's time.
Well, you guys are coming off a heck of a year for the Norris baseball program, defending state champions. Talk a little bit about that season, what that meant for you guys and how it's catapulted your team into the offseason.
Yeah, it was, I think every team, for the most part, when you go into a season, that's kind of the end goal, right? It's like you want to be the team that dog piles. And we've been close. We were close. We were runner-up in 17, 18, 21, 23, and finally got over the hump in 24. So, it was an incredible experience. The state tournament itself, the season itself, we started off a little bit slow. We started off 1-2. Played Bell West right away, and we got to see the Grego kid, who's the real deal.
Good.
We figured out pretty quick. And Seward thumped us, and then went on kind of a run and got hot at the right time. And so it helps when you have really good players, guys like Cale Fountain, Colton Homolka, Brody Hoover, John Hood. Some of those guys that graduated, Beckett Lund. Man, those guys left a lasting impact on our program, and it was great to see them go out the right way, the way they deserved, the way they earned it. So, and couldn't have asked for a better experience in 2024.
You said Norris has been knocking at the door. I feel like you guys have always been that program. He's in my time there, 1 or 2 in our rankings, and then just came up a little bit short. You mentioned one kid will go down as one of the best high school baseball players I think ever to play in Nebraska, Cale Fountain. What did he mean to your program in that time? Obviously a big reason for the success that you guys have had over the last couple of years, and what is the impact he's going to be not in the program this year?
Yeah, we talk about with our players, leave it better than you found it, and he's like the epitome of that. So I started in 2017, so he was for me as a head coach at Norris for half of my career here. Started as a freshman. I think he was super stater his entire career, freshman through senior. And so which I don't know. I'm not sure that that's ever been done before. Maybe it has. Maybe Jack Reitz back in his day. He may have been the other one. Maybe there's some guys that I haven't, that I'm not familiar with. But more than just him being an incredible baseball player, he was a phenomenal human being. And it's pretty rare these days when you find a guy who's that ultra talented, and everybody wants to talk about how good he is and his, you're going to be a millionaire someday and all that stuff. And a lot of times it gets to kids' heads. And for him, it was like the exact opposite. He was incredibly humble. He's mature beyond his years. And so, outside of just being an incredible player, like I said, I think that's probably going to be one of the things that separates him at the level he's at now, is just his character and how he handles himself and his maturity. So, he definitely left Norris in a better place. Guys still talk about him. Obviously, he's only a year removed, so we still have a couple of his brothers down here. So the name's not gone, but we're going to miss his face in the dugout. We're going to miss his face on the field and his leadership. And but no, he definitely left us better than when he found us.
We've got the opportunity. He's been a part of our more elite events, and I've got the chance to be around him. And I just feel like his smile is infectious. He's almost got, I don't want to say in a bad way, but Midwest nice. He's super nice. And then when you get on a baseball field, he'll absolutely tear your head off.
Man, and that was one of the things.
What his pro ball does. And go ahead, Coach.
No, I was just going to say, that was one of the things when he was younger, freshman, sophomore, even his junior year, like, dude, I don't think you know how good you are. Like, stop being so nice. Like, we need some, like, killer instinct out of you. And he finally got that way as a senior a little bit, where he was like, no care. Like, I'm just going to go show people how good I am and play the game the right way. But yeah, man, he's just like you said, his smile's infectious, just a great kid to be around. So that's tough to replace.
Couple guys, now that we move into the guys that are on your team that you're looking to, I know Jordan Monroe had an incredible year last year, and Crew Moeller really came on the scene as well. Those two guys, I feel like you're going to really look to this year to lead the charge a little bit with Cale Fountain out of the picture.
Yeah, for sure. And right now, if the season started tomorrow, I think Crew Moeller would probably play shortstop for us. The other guy we were kind of looking at to maybe fill that role is Logan White, and he's got some back issues, unfortunately, so we're not really sure what his status is going to be to start the season. But Crew's an incredible athlete. He could literally play anywhere on the field. He could catch for us if we had to. He pitches for us, obviously, too. Closed that state championship game for us last spring. He's a really good outfielder, but he's one of our best athletes, and he's he's a nice infielder too. So we're going to rely on him heavily to pitch for us. He's going to probably anchor our pitching staff, and also play a little bit of middle infield, and potentially, hopefully we don't have to use him behind the plate. We've got a pretty good guy, a couple guys back there as well. But if the situation calls for it, he can do that too. But yeah, and then the other guy, Jordan Monroe. I mean, man, he's kind of a jack of all trades as well. He was playing some second base this summer. He's caught for us before. He's joking around at open field. Hey, you want me to gear up? Just stop, man. You're not a catcher anymore. We got other guys to do that now. So he actually might move into the back end of our bullpen and be kind of that guy. He spins it pretty well for us. So yeah, I mean, we're going to rely heavily on those two guys for sure, whether it be their baseball ability or obviously their leadership stuff too is big with them.
Coming off a state championship and then losing, arguably one of the best players in the state, what have you changed, or how are you approaching this season as a coach and making sure these guys stay focused and motivated and on the right train?
I don't think you really change a whole lot. We try to, as a staff, you always meet after the season. Hey, what went well? What didn't go well? And so there's some things you tweak here and there. Obviously we're not going to be able to replace, we're not going to find a 5th round draft pick in our program this year, unfortunately, right? You find ways to try to match the production with several guys, not just one guy. Try to mix and match guys with different positions. You go over lineups in your head with your staff and like, hey, what's this going to look like if this guy's on the mound or if this guy's on the mound? And, fortunately, we've got some young talent coming up too. I think our freshman class is a talented, deep class. We might see some guys at the varsity level break through at some point throughout the season. But yeah, the off season's not. We try not to change a whole lot just based off of one season. We feel like we've had pretty sustained success throughout our tenure here at Norris, and so obviously there's some things you want to tweak here and there, but nothing too drastic.
Yeah, for sure. I think the success of the program definitely speaks for itself there, with all state tournament appearances and now obviously the state championship to seal it all in. Sorry, Coach, I got a pause.
Oh, you're good.
My question. How'd you go through the season, Coach? Obviously, Cale Fountain, like you said, you're not going to be able to replace him with one guy. Is there any changes you make, how you attack, the way you score runs, or do you call the game any differently? How is this Norris team, I guess, going? What's the bread and butter for this Norris team and how they're going to stack up wins?
Yeah, it's funny you ask about you're going to change the way we score runs. The Buck down in Hickman is kind of a launching pad. I don't know if you've ever been down there before, but the wind blows out there and it's like a 320-foot fence. It's not real deep. We're actually going to get a new field on campus. I don't know if you've seen that either, but we're getting a turf complex here put in, and I think it's going to be ready sometime this spring. And it's not going to be 315 to the corners anymore. It's going to be a real baseball field, real depth. So we're probably going to have to play a little more small ball. Hopefully, we can steal some bases. We pride ourselves on being able to run the bases really well, being able to put bunts down, things like that. We're not going to have a guy, like I said, that's going to hit 9 or 10 home runs for us more than likely. So, yeah, we just find ways. You can't recruit to a system. You just kind of have to tailor your offense, tailor your system to the guys you have. And so our staff, our hitting guys do a really good job of kind of creating a plan for us offensively and executing it throughout the season.
That's awesome that you guys are getting a facility. I was just talking to another coach, and facilities around Omaha or Nebraska area have, I would say, gotten better 1,000-fold with everybody, getting turf. And I know obviously everyone loves natural surface, and that's the best I would say, to play on if you can get it really good. But with budgets and everything, high school programs, the amount of nice turf fields around here has, I would say, almost tripled in my time.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other night. Like, I don't even know how many natural surfaces we're going to play on this year. It's far and few, but I feel like our conference even, I think all the Elkhorns are turf now. I think they all went turf.
Yeah, I know the Millards have it in the works, and Grand Island, I know, is got a plan in place for theirs. All the Lincoln schools have done it with their complexes that they use. So it's almost all where you're not really gonna be able to find a natural surface, which in reality is a good thing, I think, for high school baseball. It provides an even surface, and everyone knows who's gonna play. I love it because I know I'm gonna get to watch the game. I'm not gonna travel out to Hickman and then it rains, and we're gonna be like, all right, everybody go home.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Especially up here, man, when it's it snows, rains, whatever. You never know what the weather's going to be like in Nebraska. But if it's not raining, we're playing right on turf. So yeah, it's going to be great for us in our program.
You throw that in with the competitiveness of this year. I think just across all three classes, it's going to be wide open, and I'm excited. I've said this on a couple podcasts, but there's not going to be a field in Nebraska, I don't think, that you don't go watch a baseball game at that's not going to have high level competitive baseball at it.
Oh, for sure. And with I think Pius and Gretna are both down in B now too this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes it even deeper in our class. You've got Gretna East, who doesn't lose anybody, who's got more players than maybe anybody in the state. And then you got the traditional teams. Waverly's going to be up there. There's just countless teams in Class B that you could just put them in a hat, pull them out, and say, hey, this is your state champion. It's like, well, that doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of really good teams.
100%. It's gonna be fireworks. So the state championships have been, in my opinion, as much as I've watched and scouted baseball, the best state championships in my 3 years that I've covered, and I think this might be top all the last three. So yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a great year of baseball. The weather's going to be really good to us all year. I am 100% sure of that.
I'll hold you to that one.
All right, Coach. Well, I won't take up much of your time. I appreciate you coming on. It's been a pleasure. We're excited to watch you and the Norris Titans get after it. Join us for the rest of the interviews that we do with the coaches around the state.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, man. It's fun.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep, you bet.